Welcome to Paco the Realtor channel, where I talk about real estate, rants, and other things that can make our life really interesting. Hey guys, this is Paco the Realtor, your friend in real estate, tu amigo en bienes y raíces. Today I want to talk to you about the two biggest mistakes the sellers make when selling their home. In a nutshell, it is going off incorrect data. The first one is Zillow, which we all know and have learned to love and hate. The second is the difference between a property that is currently active, pending, and sold. Three completely different things, and people confuse them all the time. So I'm going to explain to you a common scenario we run into. So you're getting ready to sell your house, right? You're doing your research because when you meet with a realtor, you want to make sure you know what your house is worth. So you go on Zillow, and you realize that Zillow says your house is worth, for example, we'll say $500,000, and you're like, well, my house looks a lot better than a lot of those houses on Zillow, so maybe it's worth $520,000, and you go under that assumption. Well, there's a big problem with that, and the problem with that is Zillow is an algorithm. It is not a human being looking at it. It does not take into consideration condition, location, streets, school districts, pool, solar panels, upgrades, downgrades, none of that. So your house can be it could be the ugliest house in the neighborhood. It wouldn't know that. It could be the most upgraded with a pool. It wouldn't know that. So it is inaccurate. It is a tool. It is a good tool to get estimates, but it is not a good tool for accuracy. So that's the first, okay? So use Zillow as a guide to guide you in the right direction. Don't put all your money in that basket. All right. Second, people making the difference between active, pending, and close. Often when I go to do a listing presentation, I sit down with them and they say, well, my neighbor, my house is way better than theirs. Better condition, bigger, and theirs is selling for $400,000. So I'm going to sell mine for $420,000 because mine's better. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. Let me explain to you. Unless a house has sold, it is not a comparable. Period. If it's pending, maybe. But the problem is we don't know what the house sold for. We have no way of finding out how much that house went into escrow until it closes. Now, can we reach out to the listing agent? Yes. Maybe they'll be nice enough to tell us. Maybe they won't. But there's no way to know, right? So, kind of important. So, all we can do is base it off sold. Active is what people want. Pending is what people have offered. Close is what it actually sold for. We want to go off sold sales within the last 90 days in the same neighborhood, not a different neighborhood. If the houses across the street are much bigger than the houses in your neighborhood, they're not comparables. Sometimes we have to go outside our neighborhood. Sometimes we have to go outside more than half a mile or a mile. But for the most part, we should be able to find comparables in your neighborhood. So those are the two common mistakes that people make. The best way I could describe it in a nutshell is this. You want to sell your car, right? You've had it for 5 years, you want to sell it. You go to Blue Book, and Blue Book says your house is worth $10,000 in a decent condition and a certain amount of mileage, right? Then now you have all these apps online that you can verify what other people are paying for. You go on that and they say it's worth between $9,000 and $10,000. So you have Blue Book saying $10,000. You have these apps saying between $9,000 and $10,000. Okay, so that's a guide, right? But a pretty close guide, especially when it comes to cars. Then you turn around and try to sell a car for $15,000. It's not going to work. There's problems in there, and the problems are, if I buy the car for $15,000, how much is the bank going to finance me? Only what it's worth, right? For the most part, correct? Well, a house is the same way. If a house is worth $500,000 and you want $530,000, Even if I offer 530, but the house only appraises $500,000, it's only worth $500,000. So either you're going to drop the price, or I'm going to come up with $30,000. So why even put ourselves in that situation? Find out what the accurate price is up front, and that's the key. All right, guys. I hope this gave you a little insight on how all this works. As always, this is Paco the Realtor, your friend in real estate, tu amigo en bienes y raíces. If you like this, I ask you to subscribe on my YouTube channel on Paco the Realtor, Paco and Associates, or like my Facebook page, Paco the Realtor or Paco and Associates. I'm constantly putting out content and material, and I would love any feedback from you guys. All right, guys, have a good one. Hey, thank you so much for watching our videos. I appreciate it. If you really like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be putting out a lot of content on a weekly basis, which will be real estate related, and a lot of stuff of just me ranting. So thank you. Remember, subscribe.